Welcome back to the Silicon Valley Education Foundation's Pioneers in Purpose Celebration for Education.
Hello again. Welcome back to the program. I hope you're enjoying your dinner. Okay, things are really going to get exciting now, so get ready for a really interesting night now. So we've been showing you how the students are using Elevate Math program, but in today's light-speed world, young students also need a playground that nurtures the high-tech skills that one day could impact their lives, make them better, and make them the best employees that we need in Silicon Valley. And to talk about how we can address that need, we want to welcome John Doerr, chairman of the San Francisco 49ers, and a new granddad. His son Jed just had a new baby. So please welcome Mr. York.
My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came.
So it's great to be here tonight. So 5 years ago, it was a vision. 2 years ago, it was a reality. 18 months ago, it was a beginning. And today, it is a successful realization of a vision that has become a reality and a new beginning for the STEM-motivated, academically gifted young people. And tomorrow, it will grow into an even more vibrant community of scholars reaching goals and achieving their full potential. It, of course, is the 49ers STEM Leadership Institute's Chevron STEM Zone, which launched in July 2014 and now includes 120 young scholars in the 7th and 8th grades. I'm going to pause for a second because I've been asked 3 times, how and why did the 49ers get involved with this Silicon Valley Santa Clara STEM Institute? And when we came and started to look about building Levi Stadium here in Santa Clara, we wanted to find something that clearly put us into the Santa Clara community. And the San Francisco 49ers Foundation has been involved with community efforts to the tune of $3 to $4 million over the last 4, 5, 6 years. When we met with Mohammed and talked about education with the 49ers Foundation mission to keep kids safe, on track, and in school, I was absolutely flabbergasted to learn that in Santa Clara, while not a wealthy community, is certainly not a poor community. But, as Jessica had pointed out earlier, only 2% of those graduating high school students from Santa Clara have passed the AP Calculus exam, meaning that they are probably the only 2% that are potentially going to have a high-level technology job in Silicon Valley. So we set out to try to work with the Silicon Valley Education Foundation, the Santa Clara Unified School System, the school board, to try to develop a STEM program here in Santa Clara that would raise, over the course of these 7th graders going on up to the 12th grade, that would reach at least 20% who have passed the AP Calculus test. So that was our vision, and that's what we are trying to accomplish, and we are starting to make progress. So we're very proud to be working with the Silicon Valley Education Foundation, the Santa Clara Unified School District, Chevron, the Cabrillo Middle School, and now Santa Clara High School to support the STEM Leadership Institute where we are inspired every day by the future leaders of Silicon Valley. I visit the STEM Institute often, and each time I leave, energized and inspired by the spirited learning that I see in the classroom that's led by Program Director Jennifer Lee and Principal Stan Garber, both of whom are here tonight, and their team of educators. We see the success of their efforts in the test scores, the competitions, and the smiles and social connections of these young people. They love this program and the school. And what a testament to the hard work of the Silicon Valley Education Foundation and the school district and their commitment to our kids. In September, I joined our 49ers players, executives, and students from Cabrillo in the creation of a mural designed by local artist Morgan Bricka. The mural is beautiful, but what really struck me that day was the spirit of the kids that they brought to the painting project, their energy and their confidence. Next fall, in participation with lead sponsor Chevron and design partner, the Fab Foundation, we will open the doors to the Chevron STEM Zone at Santa Clara High School under the leadership of Principal Greg Shelby. The 60 scholars who launched the Institute are participating in the new design of this STEM zone. There, they will begin the next phase of their journey to top-tier universities and possibly STEM careers. The students are the success story, the embodiment of the commitment that the Silicon Valley Education Foundation has to creating opportunities for youth in our community. I am proud to partner with SVEF and honored to support their efforts through the 49ers Foundation in alignment with our mission to keep kids safe, on track, and in school. Thank you, Mohammed, for leading the way. And thank you to all of you for being champions for our youth and our community. And now I invite you to enjoy a peek inside the Chevron STEM Zone at Cabrillo.
We were given was to build a bridge that fit the dimensions with toothpicks and foam pieces to put them together, and it had to stand up.
You take all the pieces, kind of like building a car, and you put them all together and boom, you have a bridge.
I think it's teaching us engineering, but also like doing all the math to figure out the correct amount of sticks you would need.
7.5 toothpicks left.
The reality is that pure math isn't used very often, and pure engineering and pure science isn't used. And so this particular project was asking them to combine those skills, looking at geometry and looking at some basic physics, construction engineering, math, as well as real life skills in terms of budgeting and proposing something, what do I want to do and can I actually execute what I'm proposing that I'm going to do.
So this group meets the 24 by 12. It looks like a viable bridge. We won!
For the Lego robotics, we have to build this robot. We make it do certain challenges and program the robot to do it.
Basically what they're doing is taking Legos that we've all played with at some point or another, and they're learning how to create structures with them and link them to a computer where that computer can then be programmed to control that robot remotely. What's really neat is that they form these teams that they've chosen for themselves, and they're learning along with each other, how do I build things? How do I make it look aesthetically pleasing, as well as how do I technically program it in a way that it has a function to it?
What I enjoy most of being in this program is that we have
different kids from all around the district, and we get to explore most things that we can't do if we weren't in the STEM program.
I found a lot of people that have like common interests and we all kind of want to do similar things, so it's really nice.
I think some really key aspects of our program is that it's a cohort model, so these students are learning science, technology, engineering, math together for the next 6 years. And having that core group of people and colleagues eventually that you know and trust and can grow with is really important.
A thank you to Mr. York for being a key player in SVF's success this year. Thank you, John. Okay, so this is the part of the program that's always the highlight, because this is when you get to see your fellow Silicon Valley executives, these great entrepreneurs, brought to their knees by 7th and 8th graders. Yay, it's time for the STEM Showdown. All right, now I just want to say that this is a game that we play, but it is very important to note that every year, the STEM leadership students come out victorious. Yay! They are undefeated by the executive team. Okay, it is time for the STEM Showdown, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to welcome our STEM Leadership Institute student team. Come on out, Leilani, Jesus, Kaylin, Jessica, Alan, and Nicholas. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. All right, and now our executive grown-up team, Patty Hatter, the CIO of Intel, Chris Funk, Superintendent of the Eastside Union High School District, Fayez Sharpalawala, CFB at Cisco, Maria Admonson, Global Chair of Technology at Edelman, Dave House, Chairman of Brocade, and Sohail Faisal, Managing Director of the Presidio Partners. Thank you so much for being here. Also with us on stage, these wonderful ladies over here, Janet Wu and Jennifer Lee, 2 teachers at SLI, and they're going to be helping us during the games. Okay, are we ready? Patty, don't be afraid. Get closer. Okay. All right. So we're going to have 3 STEM challenges today. Whichever team gets the most points, they will be victorious. So 3 different things. Is everybody ready? Are you excited? Are you guys going to take them down again? There's a lot riding on this. Okay. Are they going to take them down again this year? Who are you voting for? This group? This group? Okay. First game, it is called Add It Up. Yay! Okay, now representing the red team and Add It Up, we have Jesus, Jessica, and Alan. And, okay, ready guys? Come on down, come on. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Time is of the essence. On the blue team, we have Patty, Fayaz, and Sohail. Come on down. Okay, this is the way this game works. This is about adding it up. First game, 3 stacks of cans. You get 3 throws. You can only knock the top can of a pile. You're looking at me as you're confused. All right, things are not going well already for that team, right? They're not getting the instructions. Okay, 3 stacks of cans. You get 3 throws. You can only knock off the top can of a pile. Second throw counts double. The third triple, and you have to get to 50. Okay, so that's yours over there. This is yours over here. I'm going to move out of the way. So you have to get to 50. I'm going to not participate in this game because I don't know how to get to 50, but I will just be the moderator. Okay, if you need to start over, you flip over the page and start again. You have 1 minute. Are we ready? Are you guys ready? Are you ready? You have to be looking over there. You don't seem ready. All right. I'm going to get in the middle. All right, we're going to start the counter. Are we ready? And go! Go, 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 go! 1 at a time. 3 stacks, 3 throws. Knock the 1 off the can pile. Second throw counts double. The third triple. They're asking a lot of questions. It's not boding well for them. Show your work. Show your work. Do you guys need me to help you? No. Time is running out. How much time do we have left on the clock? It's like an executive meeting over here. Nothing's getting done. They're just staring at the paper. Here we go, people. A lot of arguing, high level. They need some assistance, I think. A lot of talking. Oh my God! I think did you guys do it? Before the time ran out? I don't see any red ink on there. And the time is out. I'm gonna say, since I don't really see a lot of pen marks, that you're the winner! Yay! 1 point to the red team. Okay, step on back. All right, next game. Our next game is called Blow It Up. I'm a little nervous about that. Blow it up means I'm gonna need Leilani, Talon, and Nicholas. Come on down. And I'm gonna need Maria, Dave, and Chris. Hopefully you can show up your partners on your team. Okay, blow it up. This game's a little bit more difficult. You're gonna need, under 1 minute, you have to blow up a balloon to the biggest size possible using the tools, the liquids. Do you want them to step behind the table? Oh, they're gonna do it here in the front? Okay, they're gonna step behind the table. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. You people move, move, move. Sorry, I'm giving bad instructions. So you're gonna blow up the balloon to the biggest size possible using everything you have there. You have some tools, you have liquids, you have reagents on your table. You have 1 minute. Whoever has the biggest balloon wins, without burning up the building, without burning any of us or making us evacuate, okay? All right, whoever has the biggest balloon wins. You people should be good at this. Okay? Ready? On your mark, get set, go! Timer! Don't drink it! How's everybody doing? It's not vodka, so you can't drink it. I see spillage. Spillage. Oh my God! Someone's balloon is working! You people look a little deflated.
The other way around.
All right, almost there, almost there. You guys are beating them! Yay! Get your balloon going! Bigger, bigger. Size does matter in this game. Oh my goodness! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Would you care to show us your balloon, please?
We're almost there.
That is not your finest moment, Dave. No. Let me see your balloon. Yay! Another point for the red team! I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but you're behind. Yeah. I would put that away for a while. Okay, third game. Are we ready for third game? Third game is my favorite because it's called Throw It Up. Just not on me. Okay. For this last game, this is going to involve engineering skills, using a skill that anyone can do. All of us here could do this. We are going to make paper airplanes. Paper airplanes. And everyone is going to participate. All of you. Okay? So get ready. Grab your piece of paper. For this game, we have 2 phases to the game. First game, we're going to spend a minute making as many airplanes as possible. Okay, red team. As many airplanes as possible. As many airplanes as possible.
Got it. Ready.
Okay.
Ready. Ready.
All right. Then, in the phase 2, we are going to select our 3 favorite airplanes. So fight amongst yourselves about who's got the biggest airplane, okay? You guys will pick the best 3, and then the best part of the game is we're going to use our airplanes and our engineering skills, and we're going to throw them at you. And you're going to use your skill of ducking to see if we hit you, okay? All right. Get ready. On your mark. Get set. Phase 1, go. Make your airplane. Paper airplane. Not a helicopter. Not a jet. chestnut. Okay. Volume, people, volume, volume. Okay. How are we doing over here? This is one you people could win. All right, I think we could have a good competition here. This is the time you want to put your sunglasses on so you don't get poked in the eye and cover your food, okay? Vertical lift, horizontal drag, remember that? Keep going, keep going. We're not putting amenities on our plane, we're just making a paper airplane. Okay, how they doing, ladies? Good, right? Your team is rocking it. Time's up. Okay, now we're gonna pick our favorite three. Do you have three to pick from? Do we have three to pick from? I don't know what this is. I don't think this is gonna be in the top three. All right, pick your three. You guys pick your three. Okay, and I'm gonna need 3 players up front when you've got your planes. Everyone bring their airplanes to the private jet area over here. Having trouble wrangling the executives. All right, you ready? You got your plane? All right, Fayaz, let's go. All right, kids, let's go. Which are our 3 top models? Okay, 2 teams. Ready? The teams will take turns throwing the planes. We're gonna start with our red team. Step up, red team. Step up to the edge. Come on, Nicholas. Eye of the tiger, okay? Eye of the tiger. All right, Nicholas is gonna go. When Nicholas gets the plane to you, when you get it, stand up so we can see the distance, okay? Ready? You feeling good? You feeling powerful? Okay.
If you're sitting over here, watch out.
Watch out! Woo! All right, no. Jessica, you have a lot on the line here. Remember, you have your name to prove.
Okay.
Okay? So, and you're a girl, so let's rock that plane, sister. Okay. All right, Jessica's plane, people. Yes! Woo! All right. Got a lot on the line here, Talon. Get closer to the edge. Closer to the edge, but don't fall. I got you. Go. Oh, nice! All right, red team! So, I can't see you, so I don't know how far the red team went. All right. Are we ready?
This is easy.
This is easy. You got this one? You got this one. Okay, you're up first. Oh! Faisal, it's you. Let's see if, come on. Yeah. You need all the advantages you can get. Oh, good one! You almost blinded someone, but it was good. Okay.
I'm blinded by the light here.
Yes, blinded by the light.
I want to know, do the kids have any wine?
Do you want to drink
Do we get
some?
a handicap?
And Dave's going now. Oh! All right, let's hear it for the good sports. Our executive team of losers again. Thank you. All right, and the red team victorious. Come on out. Do a victory lap, kids. Victory lap. High five, high five, high five. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Are those kids smart or what, right? This is the product of Silicon Valley Education Foundation, folks. Thank you for being part of the STEM Showdown. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Maria now. Maria's going to be doing a little chat. Maria, where'd you go? Maria. I just met a girl named Maria. Good, thank you for participating. That was great.
Yes.
Next time, pick some better teammates.
I guess so.
Yeah, okay, you're on deck.
Good evening. My name is Maria Amundsen. I'm chair of Edelman's Global Technology Sector. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you why I'm here tonight and why my team at Edelman provides pro bono services to help Silicon Valley Education Foundation get its message out. Edelman is an international marketing communications firm that delivers world-class services to some of the most influential influential companies and organizations around the globe. As we all know, world-class service means hiring world-class people. World-class people come from world-class students. And to overuse the word, we have a world-class crisis right here in Silicon Valley, where the supply of qualified students, especially in STEM, is dangerously short of the demand needed to keep our technology economy as strong as it is today. That talent pipeline affects each one of us in this room. You've heard a lot tonight about SVEF's Elevate Math program, which prepares students for college and careers. I've become such a fan personally of this program that on my recent birthday, I gave myself the gift of a cash contribution to the Elevate program. Best gift ever. Now I invite you to do the same, to invest in your community's future by donating to quality public education programs tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria, for being such a good sport also with us. Okay, now you can see what it costs. We're going to show you on screen what it costs for a student to participate in one of these programs. As you can imagine, it does not come cheap. So that's why we need your support. We need you to be generous. We need this night to make a difference in these lives. So the way you do that is glowing necklaces. You can see them behind us. They're flowing all around the room. Glowing necklaces have credit card swipes. They will take your cash. They will take your wallet. They will take an IOU. Anything you have. Take a necklace off. Give it to her. She's fine. Just make sure you find one of the ladies that has the glow-in-the-dark necklaces, and they'll be ready to take your card. We also want to tell you about this. There are these little cards that say going social. And if you feel inspired, you can share your experience. Show your support by donating, and there is a text message. If you want to text us some money, we'll take that from you as well. The number is 408-479-5347. So if you see these as well, we can take your money that way as well. All right, now, the key part of this evening, the reason many of you are here tonight, the best moment is here. Tonight, the Silicon Valley Education Foundation is honoring business icon and philanthropist John Doerr. First, I know, wonderful. He just popped up, sat next to me. I was like, what? This is so exciting. But first, I'd like to invite John W. Thompson, the CEO of Virtual Instruments, on stage to say a few words about his friend, John Doerr.
Well, Jessica, thank you very much. It's quite an honor to be here. For 11 years now, the Silicon Valley Education Foundation has been recognizing stalwarts and legendary leaders in the Valley, not just for what they do around technology and business, but what they do for education as well. The list of pioneer leaders goes on, and it's quite frankly a Hall of Fame list. John Chambers, Ray Bingham, Bruce Chizen, I mean, on and on and on and on. All spectacular leaders, and many of which I'm proud to say are my friends. Quite frankly, tonight's honoree is also a good friend of mine. And so how do you know that someone is truly a good friend? Well, in this particular case, I walked in tonight and didn't have anything green on. And green is an important color, as you well know, to the Silicon Valley Education Foundation. And when John walked in, he said, "You don't have on a green tie, and I have one just for you." And so the tie I'm wearing here tonight is John's tie. Now, more important than our friendship is all of what John has done in the Valley for all the years that he's been here. He's been with Kleiner Perkins since 1980, and he's backed some of the world's most successful technology companies and some of the world's most successful technology leaders, from Sergey Brin and Larry Page at Google to Scott Cook and Bill Campbell at Intuit, and a whole host of other very, very important people, more importantly, very important companies. He recently backed Twitter and Uber. You all know, you've heard of those? And many of the ideas that he has are all about supporting entrepreneurs who believe in the next big thing. And that entrepreneurial spirit for John extends well beyond technology, but also encompasses education and economic development around the world. Many people will say that the things that John has backed over the course of his career have created well in excess of 200,000 jobs just in the Valley alone. Just an amazing, amazing accomplishment for a single individual. Now, he was a little bit about John. He was born in St. Louis. We won't hold that against him. More importantly, he got a bachelor's and a master's degree in electrical engineering from Rice University and a master's degree in business administration from Harvard. His technology career started here in the Valley at Intel, where he learned a great deal about operational expertise and operational excellence from none other than one of the co-founders of Intel, Andy Grove. He spent an enormous amount of time taking that set of concepts around operational excellence and sharing that with entrepreneurs here in the Valley. Not just business-focused entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs that focus on the environment, on public education, and alleviating global poverty. Things that are very, very near and dear to my friend John's heart. So as one of the co-founders as well of New School Ventures, John has been a pioneer in venture philanthropy for his entire career, where he focuses on how do we help people who are willing to take risk in education and innovation and apply that more broadly. He and his wife, Ann, who are friends of ours and neighbors of ours, met when they were at Rice University together, and they have two wonderful, wonderful daughters, Mary and Esther. So it's a real pleasure for me to be here to acknowledge this year's Pioneer Business Award leader, my friend John Doerr. You pick it. So normally the program, for those of you who've been here in the past, would be all about someone giving a speech. And while John gives more eloquent speeches than most, he thought it would be more interesting to all of you to have it be interactive, or at least a dialogue about some of his philosophies and views on education, education reform, public policy, the application of technology, a whole host of things. So I've got a list of questions here. John's got more answers than I have questions, and so we'll start with a softball.
All right, but is this mic on? Hello? Good.
So, you were raised in St. Louis. Ann was raised in Colorado. You met at Rice University. Rice, good Texas boy. How do you get from there to here?
So I dated Ann, fell in love with her, and then went away to graduate school. And you know, space and time can cause relationships to fray. In any case, Ann dumped me and wasn't talking to me. And she came out here and had a summer job somewhere in Silicon Valley. So my mission, with $55 in my pocket and no job and no place to live, was to find my girlfriend. And so, long story short, I found a place to live. I talked my way into a job at Intel, summer student. They gave me my assigned office, and guess whose office was down the hall from mine? Ann Doerr. And when she saw me arrive there, she hit the ceiling because the last thing she wanted to see was this John Doerr she was trying to avoid.
Well,
so Ann brought me to the Valley.
Yeah, yeah. 35 plus years ago?
A few years ago.
Yeah, yeah. So you characterize yourself as a education entrepreneur. Now what does that mean?
Yeah, not quite. I characterize the people, the amazing transformers and reformers and proformers in this system as the education entrepreneurs. And what it means is very simple. Entrepreneurs do more than anyone thinks possible with less than anyone thinks possible. More with less. And I think that's true of many, if not most, school teachers. That's true of Don Shalvey when he started the Aspire Public School Network. That's true of many of the great school administrators who are here tonight. And that entrepreneurial willingness to take risk, to have a big vision, and to do it with less than anyone thinks possible is what defines an education entrepreneur.
Yeah. So you could have picked any number of things to focus on. Why education? What?
Two reasons. Actually, I'll just cite one, and that is my mom and dad, big influence. And I'm one of 5 kids from St. Louis, Missouri. It's no accident I came here with only $50 because my parents didn't give me any money. But they did do the following. They said, John, we're going to give you the one gift that no one can ever take away from you, which is a really good education. Now, what you do with that is up to you. So it's deep in our family's values and mine that education matters the most.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you've been able to link your passion for education and reform of that process to the insights and technologies that have become so important to the world at large. And the Silicon Valley Education Foundation certainly has a focus on applying leading-edge technologies to changing the way education is delivered. If you look at some of what they've done, you could argue they've followed your model. And you could argue that the things that you've done, like your investments in the New School Venture Fund, are so critical to changing education and the way education is delivered. So could you comment on the New School Venture Fund and your thoughts there that got you involved?
Sure. So the New Schools Venture Fund was started right around 2000?
Yeah, roughly 20, 25 years ago.
Right,
years
and the CEO of it is here tonight.
She's here, yeah.
That's
She's
right,
at-
Stacy Childress. Would you stand up, Stacy, please? So I'm asked exactly how did that come to be? And there were a bunch of us tech types who were hanging around with, honestly, I've been told this story often, Al Gore, at around the time he was cultivating ideas and resources to make a run for the president. And we talked about education, very high-minded back and forth. And at one point he said, if you tech types think you're so smart, why don't you figure out a way to make new schools? And we thought about that challenge, and since we were tech types, of course, we assumed the way to make new schools would be to have new school ventures. We'd create a venture fund, and we would try to find education entrepreneurs. And indeed, we found one to form that fund. So we called ourselves kind of the Gore-Tex, and that led to the founding of this bipartisan or nonpartisan, whatever you want, it wasn't a political deal, effort to go find and fund and support these risk takers in education.
And so you've invested through the New School Venture Fund more than $250 million over the time of its existence. What are you most proud of, and what do you wish you hadn't done?
Well, I'm most proud of the people that we backed, and I'll talk about some of their organizations, because as we all know, no matter what kind of entrepreneurship you're doing, not-for-profit, social, for-profit, internet, it's the people that matter the most, the quality of the leadership. And some of the really great investments we've made, we backed an education entrepreneur, a guy by the name of Don Shalvey, who was a school superintendent in, I think in San Mateo County, maybe in Hillsborough. And he started the Aspire School Network, a whole chain of charter public schools. I think he's now up at Gates, the Gates Foundation. We backed some entrepreneurs with something called Newsella. Who's used Newsella in this room? It's a fabulous system that's a free, graded reading learning process. And I think something like 25% of the schools in the country are using Newsella to this day. Another school that we helped fund is the Summit Network here in San Jose. And we just made a series of grants, both to regular public schools and charter public schools, to help move forward their programs. So those are the successes. There's so many ventures that don't work, and they don't all work, that it's really hard for me to single anyone out, and I think it wouldn't be fair, other than to say starting a new venture is hard. It's risky. And if you go into it with the attitude that it's okay to fail, but you're going to learn from whatever your mistakes are, then you'll do well.
That's good advice.
Thanks.
That's good advice. So STEM is really important to the Valley, but STEM is more important to our country, quite frankly. And if you think about what's happened in our country in math, science, and engineering over the years, we have fallen precipitously in the global rankings. What do you think we should do, not just in the Valley, but more broadly, because your footprint is much broader than just the Valley?
Well, STEM, I think, is emblematic of a crisis we have in public education. So I think the biggest single difference maker in education is teachers and the qualities of the teachers. And then the next right after that are the parents and parental involvement.
Agreed.
Yeah? Is there agreement? These two things matter the most? The funding for public education in the U.S. doesn't meet its needs. And worse, the unequal level of opportunity is almost criminal. It's certainly unjust. The idea that 20% of our kids are not reading at grade level when they're in third grade, or something like 30% of them are not able to manipulate symbols, translate that, do symbolic math in fifth grade, means we're taking a third of our kids and dooming them to not participating in this knowledge information economy at a time when we need that kind of talent more than ever before. So there's not a silver bullet. I think you have to go community by community, state by state. In California, it's crazy that Prop 13 has put a cap on the funding that's available to our public schools. At least we should have split roles so that businesses can pay their fair share of what it takes to have great schools here. I think we need to celebrate and develop and support our teachers more than any other thing. I think we need to get the parents, involved, more involved. And imagine you're a single parent, and you're trying to keep track of what your kid's doing and holding down 2 jobs so you can feed your family. That's what the reality is like in far too many of our homes and communities. So I really believe that, and now I'm going to tell you about a for-profit venture I've invested in with a free system, but when you can connect the parents, teachers, and kids on their smartphones so that you save the teacher's time, and a venture called Remind, which if you haven't used Remind, I encourage you to use it. About a third of the schools do. That connectivity, who uses Remind? Yo.
That must be the team over there that builds Remind.
It's not. But whether it's Remind or you do it with Kool-Aid, as long as we connect our parents, teachers, and students, we have high standards and we support them, we're going to get out of the ditch that we're in.
Well, you raised an interesting point around public policy, John, because candidly, years ago when I had the opportunity to make some comments at this event, I commented on Prop 13. And it's said that Prop 13 cost our school systems in this state almost $10 billion a year. And the entrepreneurial spirit is one thing, it's something else to fund education the right way. I know that you have had an active role in Prop 39. You had an active role in Prop 39. And it had the material impact of lowering the threshold that allowed more new schools to open up. So can you comment on that?
At the time of Prop 39, it was right around 2000, I think, California's school infrastructure was rated second to last in the country. We were better only than the state of Louisiana. And it was shameful.
Sal, did you hear that? Better than Louisiana.
Yeah, it was shameful. You'd go into schools and the doors in the restrooms would be locked because they were unsanitary and unacceptable. And why? Guess what? In the original Constitution of California, somebody decided it would be a good idea to require a 2/3 vote to approve a school bond. You know how hard it is to get a 2/3 vote to improve your school facilities in a community where maybe a third of the people aren't interested in the schools at all? And we fought for a bond in the public school district that I lived in. We got 64% of the vote, and it failed. Worse still, you looked across the country, the state, it was terrible. So we mounted an initiative to lower it to 50% and failed, even though we locked arms with the teachers union. We didn't get the vote we needed. We went right back in the next cycle and said, well, let's lower it to 55% with more accountability. And that passed 53 to 46. And because we got the 53 to 46 vote, now it was possible to approve a school bond with a 55% vote. And to this day now, $70 billion of school bonds have been approved in the state of California.
Wow, amazing.
$35 million got that done. And an amazing alliance of the teachers union, Republican governor, Democratic governor, parents. It's a good thing. We also said that if you use that threshold, your district then has a responsibility to provide equitable facilities for inner charter public schools. So I'm not here to say that charter public schools are the answer, but I think in the public school system, bringing them in is a good thing.
Well, you have been a big advocate of charter schools, and the impact of charter schools in this state in terms of overall student population is relatively small. It's less than 10%, but it does drive some level of change. So you want to comment on your view on charter schools and
sure.
The entrepreneurial spirit, perhaps?
Look, there's some bad charter schools, like there's some other bad schools, but by and large, the idea of these charter schools is we will free those schools from the 9,000-page education code in Sacramento. We'll hold them to some performance standards, and we'll allow them to innovate, provided that they're open to any and all in the public on an equitable basis. So they're part of the public school system. And we're not going to have all charters the way New Orleans does, thanks to Hurricane Katrina. But if you have enough charter public schools in a public school system or district, what I've seen is first one doesn't change the regular public schools. Second one maybe doesn't either. By the time there's a third one in there, you get a little healthy competitive rivalry going on, and you can get the whole system be better. What do we got? 80,000 schools in the United States of America, and maybe there's there's thousands of charters? No way these schools. We got to focus on the regular public schools and making them as great as possible, and delivering great education to all our kids.
Well, the one thing that you represent perhaps more significantly than anyone else in the Valley is not just someone who has a passion for technology and technology innovation, but someone who's equally passionate about public policy change to support the growth of our economy and the growth of our country. What would you then say we at Silicon Valley Education Foundation need to do to foster more growth and more innovation and, quite frankly, more kids engaged in technology in this community?
So my experience with this is that the policy battles are hard, and you have to fight on the same grounds that the opponents to what you're trying to do are fighting. And probably were I honored enough to be on your board, I'd advocate you form a parallel C4 organization that can raise hard dollars and go to Sacramento and fight on behalf of the kids and on behalf of reform to ensure that policies that bring resources, not much bureaucracy, to STEM education throughout the state prevail. I don't think the action's in Washington, D.C. I think for us it's in Sacramento. And there's, you got to do two things. Not only do you have to advocate for good, you have to keep bad from happening. And it's a constant vigilant fight. So we should join forces with others to do that. But I would not stay out of that game.
So one of the not so good experiences of my career here in the Valley was John Doerr left the board of Symantec before I got there. And
That was my mistake. I didn't know a great CEO was coming.
And so I didn't get to learn from the wisdom of John Doerr as my predecessor did. But he's my neighbor, and I get to lower the property values in his community quite a bit. John, it's wonderful to have you as a friend, and it's wonderful to have you as a supporter of the Silicon Valley Education Foundation.
Well, thank you very much. I want to say just one thing. When I was asked to receive this award, truly I said, I don't deserve this award. I don't. I mean, Salt Khan and Shantanu, who are education entrepreneurs who built the Khan Academy, Stacy Childress, who worked at Gates and has now built the New Schools Fund. So many. There's somebody at your table, several people who are education entrepreneurs, and you deserve this award tonight. Our job here is to support you, so thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Awesome.
I think I have myself a new co-anchor. Don't you think? That was wonderful. Let's hand it to the John and John. They make a great anchor team. That was insightful, fantastic. We are so privileged to be able to hear from such great leaders in our community. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful evening, has it not? Thank you again for Silicon Valley Education Foundation for all they're doing. Mohammed, come on up here, because we got to do the big number. Yes. Yes. Now we're going to do the big reveal. So your generosity tonight has been abundant, and we really thank you for making all this possible, because SVF is going to move forward and be able to have more kids learn, elevate, and do so many great things. Are you ready for the number, Mohammed? You might want to sit down. Okay. This is what we've raised tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support. Because of you, we've raised $1,355,000. $1,355,000. Thank you. We are indebted to you. And thank you again for having me be a small part of the wonderful work that SVF is doing. Mohammed, your turn.
Join me in thanking Jessica for doing this every year. She does such a phenomenal job. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. You can be with her every night at 11 p.m. and 6 p.m. in your own bedroom and watch her on NBC as well. On NBC. Secondly, I'd like to thank the staff of SVEF. They're all around the room. Please join me in thanking them. They made tonight possible. And once again, please join me in thanking John Doerr and John Thompson for a great job they do in the community and supporting all our great work and making a lot of tonight possible. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, and we'll see you again next year. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Anne, for bringing John here. Thank you.